like, there's a jerk wing that's out there. There's a peanut wing. There's a Thai wing.
So there's going to be a lot.
There's a variety.
Yeah,
there is
definitely.
not really a repetition here. It's really interesting. Everybody kind of is coming back with something
Wouldn't
different.
it be amazing if they all chose the same recipe?
Yeah, they haven't. They have
It's
not.
easy.
They have not. I mean, they've kind of. I think they know that people are used to the
Want something a little different.
Yeah, and of course we have the challenge. Last year's winners, we had co-winners last year, 20 North Broadway and Cafe Nola. So they're back defending their title this year, both doing, I believe, I know 20 North has kind of changed up their recipe a little bit this year, but Cafe Nola's back with their Cajun wing. And it's a fantastic wing.
Now,
And then
are any of the, I know there's the Zen. Are they, because...
when Zen doesn't do...
No, because it doesn't seem like that would be a
No,
wing
I'll give you
thing.
a quick
Yeah.
rundown. I have a cheat sheet here. 20 North Broadway, like I said, Backstage Pub and Grill, Belcebo, Fine Gourmet Foods, who's on J Street, The Beer Abbey, Bombers Burrito Bar, Cafe Nola. Another new addition to downtown, Canvas Corks and Forks. They're the new business
right on
that
the
are
corner.
Yep.
Yeah, right across
Right.
from Center Street.
Yeah,
Pub.
and Center Street Pub, Public House and Garden is in, the Grog Shop, Isopo's Downtown Pizza, Katie O'Byrne's Mexican Radio, Nico's Rooftop Tavern, Taj Mahal, Thai Thai Bistro, and the Van Dyke. So
Oh my gosh.
we have wings for everybody. And it is a great, I mentioned the partnership with Dee Crescenti, but it is a great family event. So if you have kids or teenagers or anybody who enjoy wings. I
walking
know my
around.
kids like it.
And walking
It's a great night. It really is. It's a lot of fun. And really, last year, everybody kind of gets into it. They're looking at each other's ballots. Oh, did you try that one? Did you like that one? So it's just, it's a fun night. I'm excited for it. This is one of my favorite events in downtown, I have
Sounds
to
like
say.
fun, yeah.
And, people just kind of have, relax. And like I said, there's a great comedy show that's going to be here that night. And so you can even extend your entertainment
for a full evening. And what else is coming up after the wings? Or you got another event coming up that you're promoting?
Oh yeah, actually I work with Proctor's for special events, so we do have a craft festival coming up, which comes every year, but then we have a really new exciting event that I want to tell you about. It's actually going to be like a family fun type of event. It's called Get Up, and it actually has Robin Quivers from the Howard Stern Show going to be there talking about her new book.
Yeah.
It's about health and fitness. We actually have a sponsorship with Vent, so expect a lot of fun activities. It could be anything from yoga, Zumba, break dancing, literally anything. I'm just really excited because personally I'm not into fitness, but something like that kind of intrigues me because I'm like, oh, there's more going on. I really like the Howard Stern Show, so that's pretty cool, and I really want to learn about her book.
Yeah, and she had cancer, so that was one of the reasons that she kind of got into the fitness and health.
Yeah, it's called The Vegetation of Robin. So I think she has a lot of great recipes on there. So
be interesting. We'll find out what's going on, and please watch your newspaper, the Gazette, maybe.
Yeah.
Check that out.
Right.
Yeah,
Because you'll find most of these listed in the newspaper as well. So, but just check the website. What's your website? Your new website?
it's visitschenectady.com.
Oh, couldn't get more creative than that.
Exactly.
Perfect. VisitSchenectady.com. Check it out, and we'll make sure that you have a good time when you come here. Thank you so much, both of you, for being here, and happy winging.
Oh,
well, we'll see you out there, I'm sure.
Absolutely. I love wings.
Greg will be videoing it, I'm sure, for us.
You never know. We're going to take a quick break, take a little bit more look at that wood carver, and then we'll be talking with Cheryl Lawyer. Please stay tuned.
Burning and finishing and all that.
On the eagles, if you have a picture of the finished eagle, you'll notice that the head is lighter. What I do is I put very deep creases in the wood to show the texture of the feathers. After I burn it, then I sand all that back off so I get the light wood, so it just has small lines in it to show the definition of the feathers. The eagle is, I do eagles for competition around the United States. I've done eagles as much as 8 and 9 feet tall.
Wow.
With their wings up like this. This is my favorite one to do because everybody can afford it, I guess you would say.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
The ones with the wings up takes it usually takes me 2 days to finish them.
All right. Well, good luck and thanks.
Thank you.
We are now an hour and a half into the carving.
Well, with me I have Cheryl Lawyer. She comes on every year to talk about the NABA is association. Is it
The
Northeast.
Northeastern
I couldn't
Asso-
remember what the
yeah.
N was for. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Northeast Association of the Blind at Albany.
Correct.
And they do a low vision technology fair that you've had at the Beltran Center in the past.
In
but
years
this
past.
time it's going to be different. It's going to
That's
be at
right.
St. Sophia's.
Yes, it's going to be on October 15th at St. Sophia's Greek Orthodox Church, which is in Albany. The event has been so successful over the
Is
years.
that the one off New Scotland Avenue?
Yeah, it's
Or-
on Whitehall Road. It's
Whitehall
at
Road,
440
yeah,
Whitehall Road, so it's very accessible for folks. But it's grown to the point we had to go to a larger venue. So
Isn't
that's
that
a-
wonderful?
It is wonderful, and what it says is that we're providing a service to our community that is of a value to our
Oh,
community. So
absolutely.
it's a win-win. Yeah, we're really excited about it.
And what would people find there? I mean, I've had trouble with my vision at times, and sometimes it's been daunting to find out the tools that you need to kind of. Fortunately, I'm good now, but
Yeah.
tell me what.
A low vision technology fair is all about exhibiting all the latest technologies that are available to people who have low vision, or even we have some blindness products, so people who have little to no vision can benefit from visiting. But all the exhibitors who produce these products, reading machines, closed circuit televisions, video magnifiers, handheld magnifiers, adaptive devices, computer programs that help not only blow up the technologies on a screen, but also read back. Many of our clients, a lot of my friends who have no vision, can interact with the computer, the internet, and Facebook via a product called JAWS that actually reads what's on the screen on the computer.
One of the things that I've thought about is that with all these new smartphones and Androids, the print is so small. I can't imagine how anybody can use them.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you can kind of make them a little bit bigger, but not always.
Not always, and not always the form factors, the smaller smartphones are good for folks that have low vision. I know myself, bigger is better, and that's typically true with somebody who has low vision. Many folks who have little to no vision find many of those platforms helpful because they're voice activated. Text-to-speech
So then that's better,
technologies.
yeah.
So it's really about finding the technology that's going to work for
And
your
that's
particular
really what
lifestyle.
your low vision technology fair does.
Is all about our organization, the Northeastern Association of the Blind at Albany. We're a little over 100 years old, and we're a vision rehabilitation organization. We help people that are experiencing vision loss of all ages to learn to adapt to and adjust to their vision loss, to be independent, and for all ages. We provide children's services, we do screenings in nursery schools, we have a program where the kids come and we do fun stuff, but we also do things that maybe they're not getting at home or in school, social skills and technology, teen program, getting work experience. We help adults get work experience, writing resumes. Our largest service population is to older adults. We're all living longer. So our senior adaptive living program is very helpful to them. But also technology. We have technology
Aren't we fortunate
teachers.
that we live in a world where there is more technology?
It's so accessible, and we actually, NABA offers free technology training once a month for people who are legally blind. So if anyone is having like a little extra help in using their smartphone or their iPad or their computer, they want to be sure and contact us. Come to the technology fair and talk to some of our staff about that. So.
And I imagine if they can't drive, I'm sure that they can find someone to bring them or.
There are resources. I do get a lot of, we don't, as an agency, provide transportation, although there are many resources in the community that can help with that. CDTA has a program called the STAR program.
The
It's
STAR
an
program,
acronym.
yeah.
It's an acronym. I can't tell you
Yeah,
what it's
I know,
for.
I know.
But it's it helps folks with with a disability to get around very affordably, I might add. So that's an option. We're also as a resource to help folks find the resources in their community that can help with the transportation issues.
Because it's important to be able to get to these
Yes.
fairs to
Yep.
do that.
Yep.
How's the parking over there?
Parking is awesome. It's the road is very accessible. Huge parking lot, so it won't be.
That's where
won't
they
be a
have the
problem.
Greek festival, so they need
yes.
plenty of parking.
They
for
have a
that.
lot of big events there, big antique fair, and so we're really excited. The one I did want to mention, one of the most exciting things about this event is that we have two guest speakers.
I saw that.
Two retina specialists that donate their time every year. We have different doctors. One at 10:30 and one at 1:30. I have my cheat sheet just so I get their names right. But at 10:30 in the morning, Dr. Thomas Federici, who's the retina consultants in Albany, they're located in Albany, will be speaking about, and he's an ophthalmologist, but also a vitreoretina specialist. So he'll be talking about diseases, I'm sure of the retina, latest in research and treatments, and related to the retina, including macular degeneration, which is the big one. And then at 1 o'clock, Dr. Hao Wang of the Capital Region Retina in Albany that will be speaking, and she has a similar background, similar training, so she too will be donating her time to talk about.
Will there
those
be a
things.
Q&A if people have
Oh,
questions?
absolutely.
Yeah.
I've had, in years past, the doctors have hung around as long as there was questions, but we
Yeah.
dedicate, probably the doctors speak about a half hour and then 15, 20 minutes for questions, but they're very generous with their time when they come to visit.
When we talk about blindness and vision loss, one of the leading causes, of course, is diabetes.
Diabetes, yes. Diabetes is the leading cause of vision loss in working age Americans today, period.
Yeah.
Really a big problem. And the killer is it's the most preventable. So we're really working hard in trying to get awareness. Albany Memorial will have some diabetes educators at the event to be a resource to people that come to talk about taking care of their eyes as
And
well as
feet
their
is the other
diabetes.
thing. You got to worry about your feet.
Oh, right.
circulation.
If you have diabetes,
Yeah.
you have a lot of things to think about.
Yeah.
If you want to make sure that you're talking to your eye doctor
Yeah.
about
Eyes
that
are
diabetes.
so important. But
yes.
it's amazing that when you hear that. We do have photos. I know that we've been.
Yeah.
Have you been flashing those, Greg? I've been looking at. I've been looking at the screen.
Okay.
There they are. Okay.
Okay, yeah,
Oh,
we've
and
got-
you do a little bit with dogs
Well,
too.
yes, I'm a volunteer for Guiding Eyes for the Blind, so we will have, hopefully we'll have some puppies there as well to kind of promote and give information to folks about
Right.
either training guide dogs or acquiring a guide dog. So,
Yeah.
so
And
we'll
there's
be doing
no. Is
that.
there a charge for guide dogs if people get them, or how does
No, most of the guide dog schools, the big ones anyway, service dog organizations provide them free of charge. Guiding Eyes provides them free of charge as well.
And what we'll do is you're going to be on in October to talk about the dogs.
I promise
So
I will
that's-
bring
yeah.
some puppies and I'll come back, or at least
'cause
one puppy
we
anyway.
do love the dogs on the
Yeah.
show because they're so great.
Yeah.
Well, I hope that you have a huge crowd too.
We do too, and what's really another just exciting thing about the event is October 15th is also National White Cane Safety Day. A proclamation made by President Johnson in 1964 proclaimed it to be, and so we'll be raising awareness with the American Council of the Blind members. Will be there talking about white cane safety and white cane awareness to the public. I haven't confirmed, that Albany Police Department will be there also to talk about public safety awareness
Yeah,
with
so
people that are
important.
visually
And
impaired.
if you notice the crossing things that have that little chirper.
Right,
So is
now,
now.
increasingly, the crossing, those crossing signals do have some sort of audible cue
Yeah.
for visually impaired folks. So hopefully they'll be there to talk about safety. And it's nice that it just coincides to be White Cane Safety Day as well, so.
Great.
Look forward
Now,
to it.
one more time, when is the event?
The event is October 15th at St. Sophia's Greek Orthodox Church. That's at 440 Whitehall Road in Albany. It's from 10 o'clock to 5 p.m. Speakers are at 10:30 and 1 o'clock. It's free. We'll have light refreshments as well. And we invite anybody that's affected by vision loss, or maybe professionals, family members, anybody that's interested in learning about vision
Find
and
out
vision
about
loss.
it.
Yep.
Maybe you have a relative that has a vision loss. Maybe you want to go there and take a look at what you can get
Yeah.
them for the holidays.
Right, and
or
then go to
something.
our website too
Yeah.
to find out more and to contact me if they have any questions.
Great.
So.
Cheryl Lawyer, she's always so good about telling us about these wonderful vision fairs and also about the Guiding Eye Dog program. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. Next month.
Next month.
We're going to take another quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking with Helen Vogt. Helen Vogt is the founder of Beyond Clutter. And if you've got stuff piled up in your house, maybe you're not a hoarder, but maybe you got a few things you'd like to get rid of. She's going to tell us what to do. So stay tuned.
We are now an hour and a half into the carving.
Well, what a beautiful piece that turned out to be. We're very interesting to see our chainsaw go to make something good, huh? Helen Vogt, longtime friend, but she has been involved with Beyond Clutter for almost 20, how long?
1991. It's over 20 years, my
Yeah,
dear.
20, where did the time go?
I know.
Oh my gosh. She's a former attorney, so she knows all about the ins and outs of getting things done right.
And getting them done, period.
Period. Good. So we're going to be talking about, she talks about downsizing for seniors, but this time we're going to be talking mainly about decluttering
Decluttering.
your life.
Yeah.
And that's like de-stressing your life.
Declutter, de-stress. It's stress management through clutter control is how I phrase my workshops and talks and so on, because clutter is a stressor. But unlike some other stressors like illness, traffic, parking,
They can't do much about.
you can't do anything about. How you maintain your environment is totally within your control. So clutter is preventable, and it's fixable. So people tend to laugh at it because clutter is kind of a funny word, but it has negative effects in life, like we stop inviting people over. We don't want uninvited guests. We can't improve the house because you have to move the stuff out of the way. Clutter is the supreme compromiser. It keeps us from being who we truly are, and it keeps us from allowing others completely into our lives
Into your
because it's a
space.
barrier.
Yeah.
It's a barrier. Clutter not only fills space, but it starts in the essence of who we are. To me, clutter is an end product of cluttered thinking, over sentimentality about things, and decluttering is not just a physical experience. It's a mental and emotional one.
It's all wrapped up together.
It's all wrapped up together. And the great thing is, once you move on one plane, say you decide to declutter your kitchen cabinets, your mind and your spirit moves with it. So even the smallest bit of progress has large results that can move you forward to improve your life in other areas.
Well, and I've read that sometimes, okay, so you have maybe 15, 20 minutes. Take a drawer, just dump it over on your bed and clean it out and just be done with it. But you
yeah.
can do it in little steps.
You have to do it in little steps. So
Yeah.
just think about it. How did the stuff come in?
Little
Did
steps.
it come in a bedroom at a time? No, it came in little steps.
Yeah.
So that's how it's going to go out. It's not going to go out any other way. So it's starting and using what I call bits of time, like you mentioned, 15 minutes. And I'm really big about television as the model. Why? Because you have an hour television program, but it's only 40 minutes in length.
You got
So here's
20
your 20
minutes
minutes.
to get your stuff done, and don't watch those commercials. We don't have commercials on this show.
Well, and channel surfing is a waste of time, because
Yeah.
what are you going to get on the next station?
Nothing. Commercials are all the same.
Exactly. So you might as well use that time. You can bring things you want to clean out in front of the television if you're so afraid of missing a minute of your program. But it's using bits of time that you already have. Don't.
I do folders sometimes during that break.
Oh,
Just take
yes.
a bunch of folders and go through them and dump the papers that are old in there.
Yes, you can bring all your
Because
paperwork.
that's clutter too, is your files.
Clutter comes in my way of thinking in different forms. What I call easy stuff, which is where everyone should begin. Clutter has different levels. You just like when you start school, you start in kindergarten. You don't start in 6th grade, so you shouldn't start cluttering emotional items. You should start with easy stuff, which, in my way of thinking, is 2 categories: things that are totally out of date. The date has passed. There's something wrong with it, and you're not going to give it away. This is an area of stuff that it's only toss, so you need to double and triple your recyclables and trash. And the other area of easy stuff are things that are damaged. They're ruined. You stains on shirts or jigsaw puzzles with 20 pieces missing.
You think people keep those?
People not only keep those, they try and sell them at garage sales. Like, it's insane. But, these are things you have to say, look, compared to other stuff I own, this clutters my life. Let me get rid of this and make more space for things that are more meaningful. So if you start at that level, you don't worry about sentimentality, you don't worry about donating, and you don't worry about selling. All you're doing is tossing, recycling. Old magazines, old newspapers, old news changes fast. You were talking about that earlier. There's a lot of paper, files. I mean, if you have a 4-drawer filing cabinet, why buy another one? Just clean out half a
maybe
drawer of
can
what you have.
And things like, as an attorney, you know what you need to keep and what you don't. I think a lot of us are a little bit concerned, like you're supposed to keep your papers for 7 years or something like that. And then I went into my files because I just had to renew my insurance thing. So how many of these insurance policies, do I only keep the one that is current, or do I keep a couple years back? What if something comes up? I don't know what to throw out.
Well, when it comes to insurance policies, the general rule is you keep the active one, and some people feel better keeping one back.
Yeah.
But unless you have a claim, that insurance policy is over.
It's done.
It's done. You have a new one. So you don't have to keep a lot of those.
And if you're worried about how much it costs, you just write it on the inside of the folder, how much you paid every year.
Well, you also have to keep in mind this, that in our way of thinking in this society, more is always better, but it isn't.
No.
If something happens to you, if something happens to me, and people have to find important documents, I don't want them going through 6 drawers and 7 piles of crap, what I call junk.
My father kept everything, including catalogs, junk mail, and he would date the junk mail. I mean, it's like, Dad, why did you keep all this? I was throwing stuff out.
Yes.
But then what was scary is it'd be in the folder with something that might have been important.
Right.
So he would even file this, and it was like, oh my God.
I see this all the time. I see this.
That's compulsion.
And that fear of letting go
Yeah. But junk
then
mail?
fell into your life. It's like, if we don't maintain our own things,
Yeah.
and simplicity is always the answer. I tell people, look, I run a business, and yet I only have 2 file drawers. So what are you saving? I used to have 8 file drawers, but over time, I told myself that I don't need to keep all this. Plus, as I age, you have to look at portability. Because,
To move, or you have to move, yeah.
well, it's not just moving, it's emergency planning now.
Oh, okay.
They say you should have your important documents portable, because if you have a to-go emergency, you need to take them with you. So portability,
Yeah.
so how much can you save if
That's
it has
really,
to be portable?
that's kind of an interesting.
I have a portable file, holds every one of my important documents. So
Important,
why does anyone need 2, 3, 4, 6 file cabinets?
Yeah.
If this is what's important. It's all this stuff once we keep it, once it gets in that cabinet, we do not want to get rid of it.
It's just tough
like
to do.
magic. It's like, I must
and
have
it's
saved
important,
it.
I think, because I do file my stuff, and when I go file it, I always take the folder out and then I dump what
You
what
clean
is
out
older.
first. You clean out
And then
first,
I put it
then
in.
add.
Because then, it's like, I mean, in a hurry, you just throw them in the files, but you've got to go through those files and get rid of it. Now, I know that you work with people and you have
Yeah.
these workshops.
Yeah.
What is the array, I guess is a good word to use, of people? Do you get hoarders at this end or just mild clutterers?
I get both. I get
You
both.
Okay.
I get the extreme. I would say the majority of people that come to me are about 40 or over. Because when you're
Well, they've
younger, you're
collected,
still
and you've got
acquiring.
kids. You've got kids and your kids'
You got to
stuff
be a
and-
certain age when you start saying, why am I keeping this?
Yeah.
Why do I have a 10-room house and the kids are gone? And you start saying why. You start questioning things. And that's when people start coming to me. And then people in your situation, where they've cleaned out an estate and someone has been either a grade 1 hoarder or even someone who just saved paper or collected all kinds of stuff, and now it falls to someone else to clean it
gotta
out.
go through it,
and
yeah.
then they say, what do they say? I am not doing
Gonna do this to my kids,
anyone
yeah.
else. I get a lot of those
Yeah,
because they've been through the experience. So this workshop on October 6th, the Declutter Workshop, is the basic program on how to get rid of clutter and how to keep it out of your life. But you know, the trick is it's not just a physical experience. You got to change your thinking. You got to go from more is better to less is more. You have to think about, before you go out shopping, you got to think twice before you buy something. You have to decide not to live life by addition. I'm going to add. 12 sweaters is great, but 13 has to be better. Well, no, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Maybe 5 is perfect.
Yeah, yeah.
So you go through what I call the mathematics, and you look at how much space you have, or little things. We were talking about this earlier. Little things like I can't get the drawer closed, or I can't get it open. Well, that tells you it's cluttered. You've got more
You
in
got more
there
than you need.
than fits. So you take the drawer out, you get rid of enough to make the drawer close easily, and there's a small project.
Yeah, and you've done something.
And you've done something.
Don't you just love it though when you see these ads? You got too much stuff, buy a rent unit to store it. It's like, oh my gosh, how much stuff do you have to have that you start renting a storage? Now I can understand if you've got a lot of sports equipment and you don't have a place to store it. Maybe you want something like that because you do a lot of skiing and snowmobiling.
Especially if
and
it's
stuff.
seasonal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially if you're big into winter sports. What
Exactly.
do you do with it in the summer?
Yeah.
So yes, that makes sense to me. There are times in life where having a storage unit might be appropriate.
Exactly.
But as we age, we need to start saying, my job is to
wanna
clean
store
that
anymore.
out, because
Yeah.
it also costs money. So you start saying,
You're paying rent on anything
clutter
that you
costs money.
Yeah.
We waste money buying things even though we know we have one. We just can't find it. It's in the
Yeah.
house, but we can't find it. So
Well, and that brings you to organization. In your home, make sure you know where things are.
Know where
You've got
things
that
are.
wrapping paper, you keep that all together, and you've got your dishes are all together. I mean, it's like if you scatter it all over, then you go, oh, where did I put that
You know where it
thing?
is.
And I
It's in
better
a-
go find it.
It's in a shopping bag in the extra bedroom or in a closet, because you're going to have guests. And then
So
you have
you
to
threw it
clean,
right in there?
and you have to put it in a bag, and you have to throw it in a basement or in an attic or in a closet. So if you're looking for the extra wrap, go there first.
Make sure you throw it under the bed and you throw it somewhere.
I know. So when you have company, you create a bigger mess.
Well, I always laugh. It says if company's coming and your house is a mess, get out the vacuum cleaner and tell them you're in the middle of cleaning.
Or tell them this is self-help. I need help cleaning, and here you are. Let's get started.
Let's do it all. Helen Vogt, if you want to find out about decluttering your life, de-stressing your life, and she also has a book. She's got books out,
Declutter,
but
yep.
she's got one especially for the holidays. You still have one for Christmas.
Oh, that's actually going to become an ebook.
an ebook.
I'm working
Very
on
good.
making it an ebook.
De-stressing the holidays.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So check it out. And we'll get her. She's coming on again too, because you're
November.
coming on. Yeah, November. So we'll talk about that.
Downsizing, back to downsizing.
Good. And we're going to be, next week, Cheryl Charbonneau will be on. We're going to be talking about the Colonial Little Theater's Almost Made. Mike Gatzendorfer is going to be on. Rocky Horror Show is going to be on. And Beverly Kantrowitz will be on talking about the annual Apple Festival at Gould Orchards. Jane Osterhout will be on talking about the BPW fundraisers big fashion show. Harry Pellegrin's going to be on talking about classic Guitar Fest, and Richard Zizeki will be on talking about Circles of Mercy and their big event coming up. Thank you for watching. I'm Ann Perillo for Schenectady Today in and around the Capital Region.